Southern Tier Brewing Company first started brewing in 2002 in Lakewood, New York. The brewery's beers are found throughout the United States, and the company makes several IPAs, including New Skool IPA. Is the new American hop beer worthy of your consumption? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews.
What up, guys? Yeah, today we've got Southern Tier Brewing Company's New Skool IPA. And underneath it says New American Hops with a Tropical Twist. I did not read that before I bought it. And I'm not really sure what the tropical twist is. We'll find out. But as I crack it open and pour it, I'll admit, okay. Not really sure how that happened because this beer has been sitting still for a week. I guess I just really wanted to get out. So, I don't know why that happened. But anyways, that's my first hiccup with this brewing company. But, so I've had a handful of Southern Tier beers recently. I had never really come in contact with it until maybe a few months ago, but every single beer I've had from them I've absolutely loved it, and again, never had them before. Of course, most of the Southern Tier beers that I have had are kind of like flavor edition beers where it's like a chocolate beer where they add chocolate, or a pumpkin beer where they add a little extra pumpkin. It's been a lot of like kind of flavor adding. I'm going to soak this up so it doesn't get all over the floor. But so this is not, although it is a tropical twist, so maybe there are some added flavors to it, but very interested in checking it out. And also, if you know the other reviews I've done, I'm not like the uber super gung-ho IPA guy. I like a good IPA. I also find that there are a lot of really crappy IPAs that people just get and drink and think, oh, it's bitter, it's gotta be good. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm much pickier with my IPAs, I guess maybe that's it. So bitterness is not gonna win me over. There's gotta be, for IPA, for it to be good for me, it's gotta be more complex. It can't just be bitter and that's it. Like, great. We can all make bitter stuff, But anyways, it's my little spiel on Southern Tier and IPAs. And for whatever reason, it exploded on me. But let's get into the smell. Heavy with the grapefruit pine right off the bat. But again, it is an IPA. More pine than grapefruit. The pine is very pronounced. Not quite cleaning solution pine, but it's there, and it wants to make sure that you know it's there, which I don't necessarily find it's a bad thing. I had a local IPA, and it just smelled like if you combined pot and gym socks and like left it in your locker. That's what it smelled like. So thankfully that I'm not getting that. But it is just pine over the head, boom, 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 and then some grapefruit underneath. I'm not getting a whole lot other than that. So yeah, if you dig the strong pine aroma, that's this. But I'm not anti it. I think it smells pretty decent. And it doesn't smell like a phony pine, like, or whatever, like they added stuff to it. So I'll recommend it on the smell. And let's get into the taste. So there is some bitterness to it. I don't think it's necessarily all that strong. I mean, it's there. You have that, you do have the hoppy bitterness to it, but it's not like super overpowering. I don't know what the IPA is. I mean, the IBUs are off the top of my head. I don't think they're that strong, to be perfectly honest. If I had to throw a ballpark out, maybe like 55, maybe in there. I'm gonna look it up and try to have it pop up, and we'll see if it's if I'm close. I actually kind of enjoy this, guessing what the what the IBUs are, and then whatever. It might not even be that high, to be perfectly honest. It might be lower than that. So you have that pininess. The pine really goes with the bitterness. The hint of grapefruit, maybe not even like grapefruit. Maybe there might be some other citrus in there, like a little lemon zest along with the grapefruit zest. As for that tropical twist, there might be a hint of banana, an ever so light hint of banana. It's kind of like, so you get that bitterness, piney thing at the top, and then it kind of segues into the citrus zest, that lemony grapefruit thing, and then you're kind of going in and you have almost like a toffee-esque, maybe like not even. Yeah, there's like a toffee-esque layer to it. And then just a subtle hint of banana. It's definitely not pronounced. I just had the Wells banana bread not too long ago, so it's nowhere near that. But it's gonna sound weird to say, but there's almost like the texture of ripe banana. And I know that sounds really weird, but the mouthfeel to it is almost something about it. It just has that kind of thing going on. And I can't figure out if I like it or not. Like, the bitterness isn't over the head, which I like. Sometimes just, I don't like the bitterness to be bitter. I think it's stupid to like bitter for bitter. It's kind of like, do you like 100% chocolate? No, because it's too freaking bitter. So I think the bitterness is fine. Again, I don't think it's super overpowering. The pine is fine. Whatever on the underneath side is, I'm not really sure, and I don't know if I'm a fan of it. And again, there's not like other flavors going on at the same time. There's like a natural progression of what you're going through, which is fine. I don't know I'm gonna give it a half. I'm not really sure. I think it'd be a fine beer when it's warm out, because it's again, the bitterness isn't super overpowering, so I think, you could probably enjoy it pretty well when it's warmer out. I just don't know what the tropical twist is, to be perfectly honest. But anyways, okay, so I'll give it a half of that. Next category is value for price, and the price isn't too bad. It is it's a microbrew. You're gonna pay what you pay for pretty much any other microbrew in your area. It's not super crazy. It's not like Dogfish Head. For some reason, a lot of the Dogfish Head beers are a lot more expensive than most of the others, but that might be because of the ingredients they use for some of those. Dogfish Head likes to experiment. So I'll recommend it for value for price. It's kind of, nothing crazy different from the other stuff that you're getting. because I know some of the other Southern Tier stuff can get a little pricier. The chocolate one I had was like $5 for one, so it's definitely not that high. So I'll recommend it for value for price. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And honestly, if I could put my finger on that tropical twist, maybe, but it's so hard for an IPA nowadays to really differentiate itself from the pack because there's so many IPAs out there. And because the IPA, especially with the kind of hops, the West Coast hops a lot of places use, you have that piney, grapefruity thing kind of built in. So a lot of these IPAs already have the same basic, at least top note flavors that everything else has. So it's so hard for one to stand out. And this is a fine beer. There's nothing like super crazy over the top with it, and it's not a bitter just to be bitter beer. With that said, there's nothing all that that's standing out really. I would like to have more of this tropical twist to help separate it. But I'm gonna give it a half for this just because it's still a pretty decent IPA. So if you're an IPA person that's not super snobbish on it has to be like 100 IBU to drink, it's a fine thing to go for. So I'm gonna give it a half for that. All right, next category is drinkability, and honestly, I think drinkability is pretty good for an IPA. A lot of IPAs for me, I don't drink as fast just because it's so bitter. I like to take my time. But the IBU I don't think is all that high. The alcohol content I think is 6. I really wish for IPAs they put the IBUs on the can, because let's face it, there are a lot of people that buy the IPAs wanting to know the IBUs, and since there's such a huge, spread of the bitterness, it'd be very helpful to know what it is. It's kind of like one of the nice things if you buy like wine in Canada. The wine actually has like a sweetness label on it, so you know the level of sweetness to dryness, whatever it's at, which is very helpful, especially for people that may not exactly know the particular style and exactly how sweet it's going to be. It's a nice gauge. Like, oh, this one's really sweet. I'm going to have a terrible wine hangover when we're done. And I think that'd be great for the IPAs, because maybe you're getting an IPA and you really want something super bitter, but it's only like 35, and you're just like, what? That is not what I was hoping for. So I just think it would be it'd behoove just anybody making an IPA to slap that on. That's just helpful information for everybody. And now I forgot what category I'm on, but anyways, yeah, so alright, I will drinkability. Yeah, drinkability, yeah, I'll recommend for that. Alright. Yeah, I'm sorry, I went on that tangent. I don't even remember if I introduced the drinkability, but if I didn't, drinkability, I recommend it. If I already did, whatever. Drinkability is fine. Last category is would I buy it again, and perfectly honest, it is a fine IPA. If you like IPAs, buy it, check it out. But for me, because IPA is not necessarily my go-to, if I do feel like an IPA, there are a handful that I know are going to be fantastic. They're going to be better than everyone else, and those are going to be the ones I go for. And this isn't necessarily the one I'm going to go for. So I like, for the most part, most of the stuff that Southern Tier has put out, I've enjoyed, and I will go back to. I don't, because the IPA field is so tight with so much competition. I think there's just other IPAs I'd rather drink. So I'm not going to recommend it for would I buy it again. But alright, that is my review of Southern Tier Brewing Company's new Skool IPA. If you've had this, let me know. Write in the comments what you think about it. Maybe it's your favorite thing. And I'm going to try more Southern Tier beers. This was actually... I was kind of looking for other Southern Tier beers to check out, and this was the first one I saw. So, yeah. But if there's any other beers you want me to check out, put it down in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think. And if you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic as well. We have more content that'll be coming out the next few, from here on out. The website, the brand new website is going to house, link up to the beer reviews, all the different travel beer stuff. We're going to have brewery reviews and just a whole bunch of other good stuff. That should go live. And the podcast. It'll have the actual podcast feed so you can subscribe to it instead of seeing it as the video. Because, it'll be easier to subscribe to the podcast through the website, and it'll be on iTunes and all that other stuff. But, so that website should go up the end of the month. And that is it. That is myself and New Skool IPA. I'm still trying to figure out why in the world that can exploded. But for now, for myself and for New Skool, take it easy.